Welcome back to what I did this week for my music business, and can you keep it under 20 minutes? My name is Cato of B.L.A.M.E.SOCIETY, that's Black Liberating Arts Movement and Entertainment Society. As a reminder, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do like, subscribe, share. Oh my God. And as of recording this, last time I checked, we had 166 subscribers to the Blame channel. So thank you to everybody that has subscribed. That really does mean a lot. We're on our way to 200 and beyond, for real, for real. So thank you. Again, make sure you check out all the music that is on the Bandcamp, which is catoofficial.bandcamp.com. Cool thing about Bandcamp is I have 32 weeks, the audio mixtape available up there for you to download. Also, if you're seeing this and you have not subscribed to the newsletter, I am asking that you do that. It only goes out once a month. The last one for September went out last week. Okay, so number one on my list is to bring up, give you guys a mastering update. Last time we had talked about mastering, we were going over, basically the goals. And the goal is to get the album mastered, right? Especially following the listening event that took place on September 7th. And basically, we were able to get in touch with Suburban Pro Studios, and they started the process for us by first mastering a single that I wanted done, because I wanted to see how the output would be, the outcome would be dealing with them, and I was satisfied. And on top of that, we wanted to just see what that would be like before we submit the album. In the process of that, if you've been tuned into the channel, I also was reminded that DK Stargod also does mixing and mastering. And so I also reached out to him to do a sample track. I gave him a track from the album to master to see how that would turn out. And so before I get to him, let me talk about the song that I submitted to Suburban Pro Studio. So the song I gave them it's still untitled. I don't know what to call it, but this was the song I wanted to put out for the homie's birthday. Unfortunately, time just wasn't on our side for this one, but it still turned out great. And so I got it. I listened to it. I shared it with Damo. We were on the same page. We liked my mix, but liked their mastering. So the service was worth it. And then I reached back out because I was like, oh man, for the price that I paid, will I have to pay to get the other versions done? As a reminder, I said this for a while now, that when I did this particular track, I wanted to make sure that we did 4 total versions. So the original version, I wanted to do a slowed down version. I don't know, I have an obsession. And then I wanted to do a clean version for obvious reasons. And then I wanted to do like a DJ Damo mix version. So like let him go crazy with it and see what he can do and then put all 4 versions out as a pack, if you will. So, and so I reached back out to Matt of Suburban Pro Studios and I asked him like, hey, do I have to pay the full amount again? Or is it like already paid? So like you can just it'll be easier for you to just like load everything back up, if you will. And he said that for the price I paid, all the versions are included. I was dude, y'all don't know how happy I was about that. I was very happy about that. And so because that's very cost effective and it's helpful and it's less of a headache. And so like that puts a check in a box for them. Like, I'm like, okay, bet I definitely want to work with you guys more in the future. But I feel like I have to be honest. So the only downfall that I had, the only negative thing I would say is I just didn't like how long it took. Now that could be a couple of different reasons. So it's like, I'm not putting all the fault on Suburban Pro. But one of the faults was, I think on my side was, I didn't book time. Right. So I think probably the best way to work with them is to book a session and like do it with them. However, I had a hard time like figuring that stuff out, and the way the times were set up, it just didn't fit my schedule. And so I had reached out to him directly and was like, hey, can I send it to you? And so by me sending it to him, it wasn't on my time, it's on his time. So that's number one. So I'm definitely aware of that. So I'm not mad. And I want to make sure that I'm fair when I say these things, because I don't want, people to get the wrong idea. Number two, Matt, he does a whole bunch of stuff for the community as far as like music wise. So he's a DJ as well. So, he does gigs. So he's working. On top of that, he hosts. He's a co-host of Fresh Produce, which is a fantastic like beat battle that takes place every first Wednesday of the month. And so when I had sent him the music, I want to say it was like close to that time or leading up to that time. Plus, there was a lot of like events and festivities taking place in the area. So it was a lot going on at this time. So it's like, I get it. So, but with that being said, I was like, okay, I want to keep my options open as well. And so, even though I'm really grateful and I'm happy for how UFOs, that's the untitled track, how it came out, and I'm grateful that the versions are all included in that price. That puts me like, okay, bet I can definitely work with them in the future. I still don't know what that looks like if I were to give them the full album, like, but knowing that all the versions are included in that price is helpful as well. Okay, so with that being said, I took it upon myself to reach out to DK Stargod. A couple episodes ago, I had told you guys how I was reminded that Stargod also does mixing and mastering. And so this past week, I had reached out to Stargod and was just like, hey, like the price he gave me for the full album was nice. I was like, okay, bet. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what it's like. So I was like, before I give you the full project, let me give you just one track and let's go from there and see how we do. And so I sent him one song. He sent it back about 3 or maybe 4 days later, which is pretty fast. That's a really quick turnaround. And I do have some critiques for how it came out. So I'm not going to get into that just yet because I want to wait till I get a final project. Because part of this process is telling the engineer or telling the producer or telling the studio what tweaks you want to make. And so I have some things I want to bring to his attention that I want to adjust and see how those turn out before I give a full analysis or breakdown of like how I feel about that. And if he can give me what I'm looking for, then we might just move forward. If I feel like it doesn't work out, I might have to just go back with Suburban Pro Studios. You're thinking about costs, but you're also thinking about quality, and you're thinking about making sure you get everything done, and you want it to be done in a timely manner. You got to think about your options. You got to keep them open. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, I didn't even write that down because I wasn't sure if I was gonna share all that. But if I change my mind, I can always edit this out, right? Let's talk about the music video shoot I did with J Rock Fly Guy on Wednesday. So we met up, and we met up at a hotel downtown, and I was blown away, right? So the whole time I'm just like, man, I wonder how what's the view? Like, I wanted to ask him so many questions, but I wanted to ask him like, what are we wearing? I wanted to ask him like, do we have a concept? Because I had so many ideas, but I also had to remember like, bro, I'm a feature on this song. I am a visitor. I'm a guest. Let me see what he's talking about first. We go up to the room and I meet the camera guy. His name is Black J, aka Magic. He's a rapper as well, and he does battle raps as well. So that's cool. J Rock starts basically directing, right? Like, he starts describing what he sees, what the vision is, what the story is, what he wants to do. He wanted to start off, get the B-roll shot of like him in the bedroom looking out the window, like the money on the bed, the pistol. And it's just like the way he saw it, very cinematic. Like, I could tell he planned this out. And then he was like, then we're going to have Cato in the other room. Like, you know how hotel rooms are. Like, you have like the entry, and then you have like the room, you know how they divide it. And so he was like, we're going to get Cato sitting in this chair in this room, and it's going to look like we in 2 different locations. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I like that too. So then Magic was like, nah. He was like, that's cool, but the way this lighting and everything is, like, we should set it up like this. And he was like, we can definitely get what you're talking about over there right now, but then what we're going to do is we're going to transition here, and we're going to shoot all the verses here. And so this was my first music video since 2018. Okay. This is the first music video ever that I've been featured in. Okay. The shot was set up for the main shots for the main verses. In this particular room was like, we're at the table and it's like we're having a discussion. And I was like, that makes sense. And I got to tell y'all this. So one of the cool things that happened was, and J Rock caught this too, because I thought about it too. And it was the fact that Magic asked to hear the song first. That don't sound like a big deal to people, right? But it is, because, if you don't know what the song is about, how can you have a vision for it, right? Like, how can you get an imagery or see the story in your head about what we're talking about if you don't even know what the song is about. So for him to ask and then listen to it, mind you, we had it on repeat the whole night. He was able to like get the ideas, and I think that really helped him. I think that's why he shifted and pivoted J Rock's idea to sitting at the table versus what he was doing originally, because it's like, even though it's like I'm talking to you guys in this song, I think he's like, it's more so like me and him are talking, me and J Rock are talking. And so he played with that, and I respect that. I think that idea worked out, and y'all, it takes several shots to get like I think everything we needed. So it was like J Rock did his, I don't know if I can't remember if he did his full verse in the bedroom, and then I have footage of him like standing there, and then we moved to the table, and so Magic got, I think, two main shots of us sitting there, like just both of us in the shot, I believe. But I can't really tell because, you know, it's like angled. And so he's in my peripheral, so I'm not looking at him. And then I know when he did it again, where J Rock is spitting and he's like more so behind me getting a shot. And then when it was my turn, he sat adjacent from me, like looking at me with the camera as I'm talking to J Rock. So it's over the shoulder of J Rock, listening to me spit my rap. From there, we had left the room and we went to a different location. It was outside. And I want to say we got two major shots of us outside. And the goal was to get the arch in the video. And so the first shot was like us by J Rock's car. I got footage of us just like playing around a little bit, and just him being J Rock and just saying some fly stuff, right? And then we spit our verses there, and then we moved to we're still in the same area, but like we moved to like the corner and of the street, and you can see the arch really well. And we spread our verses there. At this point, I like do a kneel down approach on my verse this time, and then I want to say the last thing we shot was in this plaza, like this, it's like a little park, if you will. And like you can see the arch beautifully, and it's like a smoking shot of J Rock, and like the panning, I can't even describe it, y'all. When you see it, you'll see it. Like I saw him do it and I thought he was doing something else, but when he showed me on the camera what he captured, I was like, oh, this dude is a visionary for real. Like the way he captured that and the way he uses the lights, you know. And so here, how can I explain this? It's like this, bro. There's certain things, if you don't know, you don't know, right? And so like, and if that's not your specialty, you definitely won't know like the tips and tricks. So the way I could best describe this is as somebody who records people, right? I know that there are certain things I need to do to make a recording sound good when it's recorded, and how I can doctor it up on the edited portion of it. That's what he was doing, but with lighting and with imagery. And seeing this man work was like, so when we were sitting at the table, there was a moment like I saw the shadow right on the wall. I saw my shadow on the wall, but you know, I'm like, I don't know what to say. I was just like, okay, maybe he has a way to take that out later. So midway through somewhere, like right before we spit the verse or before we transition or something, like he had this other light. He like flipped this panel up and it made the light like hit the roof of the ceiling of the room, and it like killed that shadow. Bro, I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. I was like, I was wondering how you have so many lights in videos and movies and like you don't see the shadow. Now I know, because they have another light there that cancels that light out. Like it hits a certain way and it kills the shadow of where the shadow was being cast. So if it was this way and you hit the light up here, it kills the shadow over there. Amazing. And he did that like it was nothing. So, but it was just things like that. Like if you know, you know. He obviously does this a lot and he gets paid for it. So it's like he's good at what he does. So shout out to Magic, shout out to J Rock. It was just a fun experience, man. It was my first music video in a long time, and my first ever being featured in it. I feel like it turned out great. And I can't wait to see the footage, because just seeing how he worked with the camera just tells me his editing process is probably going to be even more immaculate. And I think J Rock said that, like, dude is cold with the edits. And we all know that when it comes to images, editing is where the magic, editing is where the magic happens, right? Pun intended. So a while back, don't ask me when, a long time ago, it feels like, I had reached out to Loop City Slums. These guys have this show called Spin It Up, where they review music and they do videos with it. If you have a music video that you submit, like, they will show your video while they discuss it. And I wouldn't say it's They're not rating it. They're not grading it. They are literally listening and giving feedback. That they're showing love because they're giving you a platform to play your music. They're usually saying nice things and they're pointing out the things that work. You know what I'm saying? I was deep in 32 weeks. So I might have been just over halfway, matter of fact, because I had went backwards to send them this. And so I had sent them week 16. My Life, J. Cole, 21 Savage. I remixed it week 16. And the video I did to it, like they played that as well, right? And so they had nice things to say. I'll include this hopefully in the video for you so you can check it out. They said some really nice things for me, and I appreciate that. And one of the things they had said was, this guy can rap, like he can spit and he can sing. They're like, but why is he wasting his talent on an industry beat? I want to hear him on an original song. So anyway, I submitted Sasha Monique's song featuring me, Cato, Wrong One, produced by DJ Rich Money. And man, I ain't gonna lie, I've been checking like frequently, like just going back, because I never know how long it takes for them to get to our stuff, right? And because they get a lot of submissions and they do a lot of videos. So I was never sure when. So I checked their Twitter or X, I checked their YouTube to see if I could find the video, and I haven't found it. Today on a humbug, Sunday, October 5th, I checked my X account and I see that they had tagged me in something. They had tagged me in the video. I was like, oh, snap, dude. I was so excited. I was so excited to hear what they had to say, bro. And of course, it was nothing but love. They said the song was bar heavy. I think they just appreciated it, bro. As the person who like recorded it, mixed it, I'm just helped them through that process to get it up. That was my role. DJ Rich Money was the producer, and Sasha like killed it. And so it was just a great experience getting more feedback. It's just a really good song. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the things they pointed out was like, yo, Cato's back. And it's like, we knew he could spit, you know what I'm saying? It's nice to hear him on an original instrumental. So shout out to the slums, Loop City Slums. Thank you guys again for the review. And, I might send some more, honestly. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Because I just love getting other eyes and ears on our project, and hopefully it reaches more people. I think that's it, guys. If nobody has told you that they love you today, just know that I do, and I always will. Again, my name is Cato of B.L.A.M.E.SOCIETY, and I'll tap in with you guys next week.